You're listening to Lights Camera Latino, the podcast, hosted by Angel Fabián Rivera. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms as Lights Camera Latino and Angel Fabián Rivera. Hola mi gente, Angel Fabián Rivera here for Lights Camera Latino. We are at the Atlanta Film Festival 2025. Yes. And we're here with Miguel and Elizabeth from the movie Bloqué. ¿Qué lo que? Well, Miguel, you are writer and director, right?
I'm the writer and director, yeah.
And Elizabeth?
I am the producer.
Yes. Well, can you start with what is Bloqué about?
Man, so it really is an apology to kind of my parents, because it dives into the memories of a drummer that he's kind of struggling through his past. And I was doing the same thing in the moment, so it's really just an apology letter to parents overall in terms of how we heal through what we consider our childhood trauma, but also what we're focusing on versus what we're not paying attention to.
And I love that the way that you put it in the movie, right, is it's compared to an artist blocked, right?
Yeah.
So we all have gone through that, right? Like those moments where we cannot express ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And how did you connect those two things then?
I mean, it was as I was attempting to write something, I was going through a creative block myself, and during that moment, I was like, let me highlight this, because this is obviously where the story is at, and especially what I was going through at the time with my own parents. And then I said, how do I formulate it and turn it into something that I think would be a little bit more dynamic? And that's when I kind of added the drummer aspect, because it was a little bit more kinetic. And then I just wanted to highlight, without dialogue, how we all move through our creative process. And I thought Malik, our lead, showing him kind of go through that by attempting to create, but then finding moments that stop him, and then taking a break, coming back, trying different angles. I thought that's the best way that I think represents all of us creatives that kind of go through that process.
I love that. Elizabeth, why do you think it's so important to tell this story, and why is it important to you, right, to come into this project and produce it?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question. I feel like it's kind of like what Miguel said. I feel like we're all kind of going through, growing up with, these childhood traumas that we kind of have, and that we've ourselves, even, as 30, 40-year-olds, haven't really truly healed from. And I think it's important. I feel like even just kind of, coming up with this story and, Miguel kind of pitching it to me. I mean, there was no script, so I really just had to imagine it in my own head and kind of just put my own childhood trauma behind the story itself, and kind of just watch it all come to life. I feel like it really, there was no script, there was no music.
So
it
you
was just
came
an
in
idea.
before everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you came in when you were like, I'm thinking about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, are you in?
And I was like, all right, let's do it. I think Miguel is an incredible storyteller, so I was just behind it wholeheartedly by the inception of the project, and I'm glad that it's gotten to many places, and kind of seeing where it's going, because a lot of people do resonate with it.
I love that.
Let's be fair. This was for my 30th birthday, so I didn't expect anyone to turn me down. You know what I mean? I was just kind of like, hey, this is what I want to do, and I was expecting a yes, but giving her the option to say no, yeah.
But it wasn't an option. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Guys, I want to ask you, because Latino stories and Latino creatives, it's been hard for us, right, to really tell authentic stories and really put ourselves out there. Why is it so important for you guys as Latinos to get together and create something and put it out there and show yourself? Why is it so important today?
It's for me, I feel like we're always thrown under this umbrella, and there's just so many different, we're all different, a different cocktail of what a Latino, American Latino, Afro Latino, XY, whatever you want to say. I feel like there's so many different versions of us, and we all have a unique story to tell. Especially I'm a Latino that also migrated to Pennsylvania, like, you know, in the Poconos. I'm one of those that kind of moved out there. We have our own view of how we view ourselves as Latinos. And it's just like, if we take time to kind of listen to what each of us have to say, I feel like that's extremely important. And although this movie isn't specifically grounded in the Latino aspect, a lot of the themes that are come across is pretty universal to everyone, which is why Elizabeth was so keen on, hey, let's really make sure there's no dialogue in this, so that, you know, her mother, who only speaks Spanish, can understand, so that someone, you know, out there in Asia or wherever can like really listen in and say, wow, that music moved me because it's intentional, and the film moved me because of the visual representation.
And it really tells you that it's, you know, that it's time to just tell stories, authentic stories that don't necessarily need to have a racial background behind it, right?
Yeah.
It's possible to see a Latino doctor out there without actually saying, oh, it's a Latino doctor then, right?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, it's a point that you guys are bringing. You guys are Latino, but that doesn't mean that you're going to write specifically about it, or, you know, put it like so in their faces, right?
Yeah.
You're just still telling a story, just a story that can be related with everyone.
Yes.
And I think that's important. I think everyone should definitely practice that more often.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all human. I think at the end of the day, we all share all of these similar experiences, and I feel like that's where, you know, I may not resonate with like this story or that story all the time, but I feel like I think Bloqué, as Miguel said, like, is something that, you know, my parents were able to understand for the first time. Like, they won't watch anything on Netflix if it's not dubbed in Spanish. So it's like it's hard when, like, I've only ever grown up with, you know, telenovelas and stuff like that, and like never really being able to see, you know, yourself on a big screen, because we've never really had that. We have so many stories to tell, but very underrepresented in many aspects. So
That's very important, and I love the work that you're doing just because of it. Just because, you know, you're telling stories,
Yeah.
and that's what we need to advocate for today. You know, more than anything, it's just tell stories and change the narrative. I think we're tired of hearing the same Latino story. You know, I think it's time to just tell a story. And, you know, as creatives like you who are just doing it, that's incredible, and everyone out there needs to do it more. You know, needs to get out of their head and just think, hey, we can just do a regular story that doesn't have to be related specifically with something, but can be universal.
yeah.
That's
I hope
just it.
that, you know, I hope that kind of came across with Bloqué, and I hope people can, you know, watch it, resonate with it, and, you know, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, it's okay too. It's okay too.
It's definitely led with passion.
Yeah.
Stories that are led with passion. Just like, hey, this is a story that should be told. You know, let's put it out there. And I feel like that's what we attempted to do with Bloqué, and I feel like that's what we're going to try to do moving forward.
Love it. Thank you. Well, when can people watch Bloqué at the Atlanta Film Festival if they cannot come here? I know they have a week after as well, right, for people to watch it online. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, yes. So Bloqué is screening May 3rd at 4 p.m. It's in the Black Boys Fly program for the Atlanta Film Festival. Right after that, it will be available online with the Atlanta Film Festival. And then we actually just got confirmation, and I think it's okay to say, but we are going to the Sidewalk Film Festival right after Atlanta. So
Yes, congratulations.
thank you.
When is that happening?
August, sometime in August. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Well,
you very
congratulations for that. And, you know, if you cannot come to the Atlanta Film Festival, you need to go to that festival, okay? And for the people who cannot watch it at all, how can they reach out to you and say, hey, I want to watch the movie, I want to support you, I want to follow your work as well?
Man, honestly, just follow me on Instagram, 28MMOZ. Hit me up directly. I will send you a screener. Or follow our production company, The Telly Channel. Hit us up there and we'll send you a screener. Or hit us up and ask for our portfolio. We'll send you anything. Actually, right now, we have this 12 Creatives initiative. We are helping 12 different creatives in the New York area, providing free video service once a month for them for the rest of the year. And that's what we're doing right now. We're up on our 5th creative right now. We're shooting a commercial in 2 weeks, and then we have a campaign brand, and then we're going to keep going all the way to the end of the year, just trying to get people out there to get outside their comfort zones and say, hey, you know what? I've always had this idea. Well, let's finally put it on screen.
That's incredible. I didn't know about that. So congratulations and thank you for doing that. I think we need more people like you guys. You know the work. You're helping other people put their work out there, and you're not gatekeeping. You're leaving the door open for them and helping them throughout the way.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important to help the community. I think what people don't know about the film community, and and every creative is we are community. Without community, we cannot do anything.
Absolutely.
So you're really helping that community, and that it's really beautiful. So thank you for what you're doing. It really means a lot.
And thank you for what you do.
Yeah,
Like giving everyone a platform.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you. I'm trying my best to showcase everyone and highlight our what we're doing, because it's important to change the narrative, right? Like that's what we're talking about. The narrative is so important, and Latinos, we're here doing the difference. No matter where we are, no matter who we are, no matter if we're 1% Latino, whatever you speak Spanish or not, we're here for each other. I think it's important, especially now, the times we're living.
100%.
So please screen and watch Bloqué, the film, the Atlanta Film Festival. You cannot watch it here. Please reach out to them, and I'm sure you'll be able to watch it somehow. It's a beautiful film. I haven't gotten time to watch it. I watched like the first minute, but I had to leave. But it just got me in the first minute, the drums, and I'm a musician, so I started in piano, so it was like brought me a lot in the first few seconds of the movie. So I need to finish it.
You're gonna enjoy it. Malik is such a prodigy. Like, he's such a great drummer. Yeah, composed everything himself.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of back and forth between me and him, but yeah.
But hey, I love that. That's what creatives are, right? We do that. Well, thank you for listening to Lights Camera Latino. Remember to follow us if you're not following us already. Lights Camera Latino, and I always like to end up things with this phrase, and it says, when life knocks you down, levántate con más fuerza, keep fighting. Hasta la próxima. Levántese. Hasta la próxima. Bye bye.
Bye.